And we are live. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another new comic book day previews discussion. Usually, I would have Rex with me today. I'm not sure if he's going to be joining or not, but currently, Rex isn't here, so it's just going to be me. We're not going to be, talking about the typical football stuff. We're just going to be getting right into it. We're going to be discussing all the upcoming new comic book day books coming out tomorrow for new comic book day, variant covers, some of the stuff that's going to be potentially a hot seller of the week. And obviously, I want to hear from you guys too. I want to know what books you're going to be picking up, which ones you're going to be really looking forward to. So let me move myself off to the side here and I can bring up the new comic book day stuff. Just bear with me for 1 second here. And we should be good. Awesome. All righty, everybody. Everybody that's watching right now, everybody that's going to be tuning in, we're going to start off with, let's start off with some indies today. We're going to start off with Image. A little bit heavier of a week, it looks like, from them. For some odd reason, I'm seeing a couple books on here. It looks like Nita Hawes' Nightmare Blog issue number 4 is going to be coming out. I don't recall seeing that at my shop this week. So I'm not sure if maybe they got shorted on it or what, because I know I have that one ordered, but I didn't see it at the shop. Hellcop 4 was there. But just going down the list, I know Spawn's going to be a big one for a lot of people. Noctera. I'm really looking forward to that. For some reason, I don't recall seeing that one either, but I did see the Geiger 80-page Giant. Now, for those of you that were interested in checking out Geiger this week, it is just going to be a big, massive book, but it does have a first appearance in it. So be on the lookout for that. If you're a speculator, I mean, there's been tons of crazy speculation books. Honest to God, like last week with the Black Panther issue number 3, the 1 in 25 incentive, those eBay prices were insane for that one. So that was selling for a ton of money. I'm talking like $300 to $500 over the course of last week. Even the regular Alex Ross cover A right now, I'm seeing on eBay, has been selling for around $30 to $50. The prices for that are obnoxious. The issue itself, in my opinion, really wasn't even that good. So for it to sell for all that money, that's just absolutely crazy to me. So with all that being said, Geiger out of the way, Echo Lands, I stopped reading Echo Lands. It wasn't bad. The artwork was fantastic, but the story itself kind of seemed all over the place at the time. So to me, it might be better read as a trade paperback. I did end up giving up on Scumbag. I thought it was a good read from what I read, but there just really wasn't that much of a development in that. What's going on, Sean Peck? Good to see you, and everybody else that's hanging out right now. Thank you, guys. Hit that comment section up. I want to talk about which books you're really looking forward to as well this week. But the Scumbag, like I was saying before, I did give up on it. It just had no real plot development. It basically was the same issue every single time. We've got the main character, Ernie, the Scumbag, and that's just what they hit on pretty much every single issue. It's like everything came down to him, and I don't know, just kind of, I don't want to call it annoying, but slightly annoying read as the issues progressed. Other than that, nothing too crazy this week from Image. Like I said, I don't recall seeing Nightmare Blog 4 at my shop this morning, so hopefully they got it, but I don't remember seeing it. The Image Timeline one seems interesting. It's just, all the books that came out over the years. But if there's nothing you guys want to specifically discuss from Image, we can move on. Dave, I'm going to be honest, I don't really know. I sent them the email about joining, and usually Rex does show up a little, a couple minutes before we go live, but didn't hear from any of them, and not here right now, so decided to go live anyway. What's up, Dan? Hope you're doing well today. And then we got Sean. He says, I need instructions on how to plan for what mod keys and ratios to pre-order. It honestly is tough as far as, if you're looking, sorry about that, if you're looking for, speculation type stuff and things like that, it is a little bit harder to, I don't know, judge. The books are crazy. Like right now with the Black Panther 3 from last week, the crazy absurd prices. Everyone's just kind of basing it off that one character, Tosin, that he's going to be, a big character going forward. And I personally just don't see that. I don't think that's going to be the case. But, I mean, years down the line, who knows? I think what a lot of people are specking on with that one is that it's going to be more of a, I don't know, the next king of Wakanda. I think they're anticipating on him potentially being in the actual movie itself to kind of replace T'Challa. We'll see how that goes. That would be wild if it did. So props to everyone who got it early, but I don't know. I just personally don't see that. Let's see. One Bouillon L says X Lives of Wolverine 2, the news run of Sabretooth and maybe excellent. Oh man, if you're an X-Men fan, that's definitely going to be, a big one. And it does look like we got maybe Rex in the house right now.
Hey.
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Sorry about being late. We as you can see, we moved to a different studio, and I was running into some unfortunately some technical difficulties. The big screen didn't work. I couldn't get it hooked up, so I just started pushing buttons and unplugging stuff.
That happens. I got started. We're talking about Image right now.
Okay, gotcha, buddy.
No, you're all good. Sean Peck, I'm on League of Comic Geeks with my LCS. Good stuff. What's up, Joffrey? I hope you're doing good. Bro, did you get a chance to read Dark Knights of Steel? I actually still only read that first issue. Things have been so hectic on my end. So between just the 40 hours a week at my LCS doing the auctions, I've literally been doing 6 auctions a week for them in the comic book side. It's been so much fun. I don't have the link down low in the description, but this is what the our Whatnot name is on Whatnot. If you guys want to check it out, it's just LV_comics. They also do Pop Funkos. We do Pokemon cards, but I pretty much handle the comic book side of things. So check it out if you want to. I'm going to be posting a little bit more about that. And I do have some pretty big news coming up too that I'm really excited to talk about. I'm going to save that for Thursday's video though. But other than that, nothing really too crazy from Image. I think it's going to be a lot lighter of a week. But how's things going over there with you, Rex? New studio? Let's see. Let me bring it up so everyone else can see it. Oh, hell.
Yeah, we gotta work on a little bit. We did the show last night, and the rack was behind me, so that was too far away. So we're still knocking out the kinks here a little bit. But then I don't know what happened. The big screen didn't link up to the laptop, and I'm sitting here going, "Oh man, I'm past the time. I didn't leave enough time. I left about 5 minutes. Next thing you know, nothing was working. I had to reboot the computer."
That's how it always goes.
So, but at least it's working now. It seems like. But something new in the news that I read, and I'm not sure. Did your LCS get? Well, that's tomorrow. Are they expecting to get their full delivery, no problems, or because
I don't know. I know I was looking at all their stuff today. I even made a little YouTube short on it, but I don't remember seeing Noctera, Newburn, or Nita Hawes' Nightmare blog. So I don't know if the website I'm looking at, maybe they were wrong, so they got delayed or something. But I don't recall seeing them, and I know those are bigger issues that come out, especially Noctera. That's a brand new arc.
Well, it seems like, when I was the article I was reading, so they had this big protest, this big truckers convoy protest at the border with Canada. And, I didn't think anything of it at the time, when I saw the news, but I just read something on the internet that said that that could really mess up deliveries of the comics because, and it didn't occur to me until I read this article, but the problem is a lot of the printers are in Canada. Like the biggest one, Transcon, is in Canada. So with the issues they're having at the border right now, getting shipments across, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys get some sort of light shipment.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. Yeah. I never thought about that either, but a lot of the DC Omnibus that I've been putting up on Whatnot, they all say printed in Canada. Now, I never really looked at the Marvel ones, but the DC ones are printed in Canada. At least like the Silver Golden Age ones from a few years back.
I remember years ago, there was another big company called Quebecor, which was also Canadian. They were actually out of Quebec, and they were a major printer. I don't know how that's, there's probably people out there that know a little bit more about the history and how most of the printing ended up just kind of moving to Canada at some point. But ever since as far back as I can remember, it's most of the bulk of the printing, and this is for just about everybody, like, Image, us, IDW, Boom, Marvel, DC. They all get a lot of their stuff printed in Canada. So, again, I don't know what kind of issues it's going to cause, but I guess we're going to find out tomorrow. Right there, worm's eye view with Alec, depending on what your LCS ends up doing. If the shipment ends up being light.
I mean, we'll see. The table did look a little bit smaller than it usually does, but we got I was going to say, Dan C with a quick question. Does LV ship to Canada? Yes, we do. So they do have, so we do have Amazon and eBay stores, but as of late, almost everything has been straight up on Whatnot. So we do ship to Canada, obviously. As far as if you're wondering if we do have a regular website, we don't have, just lvcomics.com, nothing like that, but it is eBay store, Amazon store. It's Lehigh Valley Comics and Collectibles. But then through Whatnot, it's just LV_comics. And like I said, yes, we do ship there. And then the other thing, Ryan, I really do appreciate that. That means a lot. The Whatnot sales were great. AR. I seriously have so much fun with them. It's literally a blast. I love it's like I said, 6 days a week, but I love doing it.
So Don says cheap paper in Canada, lots of trees. So that could be it. They do have a lot of trees in Canada. So that could be it. Dave Cerrone says yesterday's Dynamite live show was a ride. It was. I don't know. We felt like it was another episode of Weekend Update. Now you put me and John behind a desk and stuff. So it was a little. We definitely had a good time. But yeah, I mean, that's great that you're enjoying it. That's the most important thing, that you're enjoying doing the auction shows. And I'm glad to hear the success with it. And obviously things are working well with your LCS. They're obviously got to be pretty happy that, you're moving some stuff for them, and, obviously putting them on the map, their name.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They've been like, in the beginning, they were a little skeptical about it. Like, we'll see how it goes, because they truly do. They move a lot on Amazon and eBay. Like,
right.
They move a lot of stuff. And in the beginning, they were like, we'll do 1 or 2 a week. We're going to see how it goes. And to be honest, the first one, it didn't really go all that well. It's kind of expected. And it was like from there, like after the first week, it turned into, well, can you do more than 2 a week? Yeah, I can probably do 3 or 4. And that turned into 5. And now all of a sudden it's 6. And now after that, they're like, hey, actually, we're also going to be doing Pop Funkos. We're going to be Pokemon. So we're going to be going, potentially live 2 or 3 times a day, doing all these different. They are loving it. They love doing Whatnot. And
right.
I'm really happy to see that they're enjoying it too.
That's
and I mean, I was going to save it for tomorrow's video, but we got 17 folks in the house, and I'm actually really excited about it. So I've done something with Whatnot before. Obviously, that's where I do all my personal selling, but I haven't held my own auction in a super long time. Now that I'm employed, it's just a lot easier to have, a steady paycheck compared to, the hunting game. But I did land a sponsorship with Whatnot officially, not just like a sponsored video like last time. This is legit a sponsorship, and they're now they are the official sponsors of the AR Comics channel. And I'm extremely happy about it. I'm very proud, and I'm really happy that they are enjoying the content too, to the point where they would like to, do some sort of business with each other. So for all of you watching right now, that's the first time I ever talked about it. So, got a little sneak peek. Yeah, I'm so pumped about it.
That's really great news. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You deserve it, without a doubt. You definitely deserve it. So that's definitely good news. So definitely watch Alex Whatnot shows. Be sure to keep hitting his YouTube channel as well for the content. The one thing, agree or disagree, agree with Alec and his viewpoint. The one thing you're going to get is he's going to be straight up with you. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. So, that a lot of times is a rare thing in life, my friend.
It's been fun. And I mean, with the content too. And the cool thing is like, since the shop is so all about Whatnot, it really worked out well with all of the Thursday giveaways that I do. Cause I'm back to doing, every Thursday I do a giveaway. They're not Whatnot, but the LCS, they're sponsoring the giveaways. So they're nice exclusives. They're nice books. Right. And if you guys like that, that's literally what we have on all of the stuff. Like, I got my books right here. This is just like a small example of tonight. When I put it up like these, we're going to be putting these both up together for $1.
Nice.
Yeah. They just want to have fun with it. And it's been a blast. So that's the type of stuff that I've been doing for giveaways. That is all the types of books that go up on the actual Whatnots. And tonight I have one at 6:00. So right after this, I got to jump basically right back into it.
Right. That's awesome, dude. So you keep them busy, settling in.
Yeah, at this point. But other than that, I'm actually gonna bring the screen down a little bit again, like this.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Image, DC. Obviously, having a small week. I'm not going to be really getting into any of these books, other than everyone's been raving about Dark Knights of Steel. It seems from the first issue that I read, it was like a fantasy DC book. I think Superman was in it, possibly Batman, but it just seemed more of like a fantasy type book. So everyone keeps talking so highly of it. The only other one that I kind of want to mention that I might be picking up is Monkey Prince, issue number 1. So I'm not sure. How's it look on that screen? All right, cool.
Oh, it looks good.
So it might be a little bit harder, but it says introducing the newest hero into the DCU. So it is a first appearance of this Monkey Prince. Now, I usually give you a heads up when my shop pulls books. And for this book, if it wasn't pre-ordered, they did pull them. They want to sit on it. They want to see what happens with this. It seems interesting. And I don't know eBay prices on this one in particular, but just a heads up for you guys. Like I said, I like to tell you when my shop pulls stuff. And this is one that they did pull. So it could have some sort of significant value going forward.
It could. I don't know. For Western distribution, but the history of that character goes back a long ways. That is actually a Chinese folk hero, the Monkey King. Let's just say the character is old enough. I don't know the exact history, but the character is old enough that my mom used to tell me stories, bedtime stories about the Monkey King. When he had an entourage of heroes to travel with him. And I know there have been a lot of Chinese films made in the last 20 some odd years around the Monkey King. There was even one with Jackie Chan and Jet Li that involved the history. So it's a very old, fairy tale, if you will, kind of like the Grimm fairy tales, stuff
like that.
Era. Right. So I'd be interested to see, where it goes, because I'm not sure, what the plans are. But if they distribute out into Asia, then it definitely could see some it could see some significant sales. But it should be interesting. And it's interesting that DC decided to tackle it.
Yeah, I'm a little interested in it.
Yeah, right. Forbidden Kingdom. That's right. That was the movie. That was the one with Jet Li and Jackie Chan.
I don't even know if I saw that one.
Yeah, and there was the actor from Sky High. You remember that movie?
I gotta look that up super quick though.
Kurt Russell was in it. Sky High.
Oh my god! I remember that.
Yeah. So that kid was in Forbidden Kingdom as well. I love. My daughter and I watched Sky High when she was young. I absolutely love that movie. I'll never forget that line. What are you, gym teacher, man? It was like the best line of all time. That was a good movie at the right time. Kind of a little tongue in cheek of the superhero world. They got to go to high school. That was a sleeper, definitely. I got to remember. Yeah, I got to remember to tell Robbie to maybe do that as a review for his movie reviews that he does on Monday nights, I think.
I think he does.
Yeah.
And speaking of Monday nights, I keep wanting to tune into your show, but what was it? Dave popped into the Whatnot auction. I do everything at 6:00, and it's like it kind of runs at the same time, and then when mine ends, yours is literally right about the end. So I don't really have a opportunity to check it out, but.
No worries. We
I'm
catch up
good
twice
stuff.
Anyway. So if there's anything we've missed, we'll catch up twice a week.
Oh yeah.
On Wednesday, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So anything else? What else do you see coming out this week? You think of might be of significance?
So moving on to Marvel. I was just talking about it before with how last week the Black Panther 1 in 25 issue number 3 went. It's insane. So. This week, the only one that I would say potentially has any sort of, spec value is going to be ASM issue number 88. It is already selling for a little bit more on eBay. I'll bring up this picture just so you guys can even see the covers. So it is selling for a little bit more on eBay already. Now, I looked through it today. I'll tell you what, if you're a Spider-Man fan and you've actually really been enjoying this latest volume, this issue, I think, is going to be awesome. I didn't read it, but it's definitely going to be really badass. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys about who the Goblin Queen is and where she came from, but it seems like we're going to get a lot of info in this issue and a lot of action. So definitely be on the lookout for that, especially if you're going to be reading it. The cover, we've got some incredible covers. We got an homage with the Tyler Kirkham. That's dope. That's for the Hobgoblin. And then this is probably my favorite if you guys are Dell'Otto fans. Like, everything Dell'Otto does, I just think is incredible. Probably my second favorite artist next to Alex Ross. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing too crazy that I'm looking forward to from Marvel this week. It looks like the only other stuff is going to. Oh, gotta get back on Marvel. Only other stuff is probably going to be Alien. Alien's finally back after a little hiatus. People were talking about Sabretooth. If you're an Alien fan, like if you like the movies growing up, it's been an awesome read. It kind of reads like it's a movie. Some people were talking about excellent issue number 1. Not for me. But other than that, I mean, nothing really too crazy from Marvel. I'd say overall, it's probably not going to be that big of a week for me. I'm hoping I can at least hit 10 books for a top 10 list. The ones I'm looking forward to most, though, are definitely going to be, where are they at? At the bottom here. It looks like it's only one this week. Primos issue number 1. It's a brand new series that comes out from AWA. That's the one that I'm looking forward to most. These covers not available yet, but it's definitely going to be a cool one. I actually think my shop got shorted on this one. I don't remember seeing it today, and I know that my shop was actually complaining about a few things today, with just not getting the right books not showing up. So I don't like Rex was just talking about before. Maybe the whole thing at Canada. Maybe that has a big issue on stuff.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it was big enough that they were running the story on Bleeding Cool.
That's definitely big.
Which I thought was odd when I saw that, because I had read it in mainstream news about the protest, the trucker convoy protest. They're protesting the vaccine mandate, and I guess there was some unpleasantries that occurred during the protest. So Canada's wrapped up in it, and since I don't live in Canada, I don't pay that much attention. But then when Bleeding Cool ran that article, you know what I mean. I think we got enough problems in our own country, so I don't worry about what's happening in Canada. As long as they keep shipping out the maple syrup and hockey's still being played, I'm good. But when Bleeding Cool ran that story, it occurred to me, yeah, that's a really good point. If they're having if the shipments are being disrupted across the border, that is definitely going to put a lag time in, and that's on top of the shortages. You hear the shortages of everything, paper, whatever. Next thing you know, it'll be staples. They can't bind the books. But if the vast majority of printing does take place in Canada, as I said, Transcon's probably one of the biggest ones out there, and almost all the publishers at some point, they may not get all of their stuff printed at Transcon, but they get at least something printed at Transcon. Some, get the vast majority of their issues printed at Transcon. And if they can't get them across the border, we're going to see, you're going to see disruptions, in delivery, and you're going to get shorted books, and, God only knows what else is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I hope nothing big comes from it, honestly.
Well, I mean, at some point it'll probably catch up, but for the next, I don't know, month or so, who knows? So Ryan says, as long as Ryan Reynolds and Drake are safe, who cares what happens in Canada? I don't know. Our comics come from Canada, Ryan. It may be a problem.
Now I do want to show one thing super quickly with this one. All right. Now this is some of the craziest stuff that I've seen in a long time. I was talking about it earlier, and so Black Panther issue number 3, 1 in 25 incentive. And I'll tell you what, we saw. Oh my God, we actually sold this on Whatnot last week for I think like $20, and now it's selling for roughly $600. I said $300 to $500 before. This one $550 best offer, $650 for all 3 covers. So the reason this is crazy is first appearance of Tosin Odoy, if that's how you say it. Not 100%. My opinion, I thought it was a terrible issue. I didn't think it was good at all. I don't think anyone even saw this happening because not many people are reading the Black Panther series. And the whole idea behind this is that they're trying to potentially say that he's going to be the next king of Wakanda if you guys are just tuning in. Oh, or Dave, this is the sold. Yeah, these are the sold ones. February 1st, 2022, sold for $600. That's the most recent one. That's insane.
When's the movie coming out too?
I have no idea.
Let me look at it. Now that I can actually look on a computer because I actually have a desk to work with. This is revolutionary, my friend. Let's see.
But yeah, Dave, that is the right there. We got sold completed. So I don't I don't know. I think this is a stupid thing to spend money on. I have a cover A, and if it truly is selling for like $75, I'm gonna sell it because it's not that good. And I'll take it right off the pull list and not think twice about it.
All right, so Black Panther 2 looks like a May 6th release. So that actually is fairly close. I mean, you and I kind of touched on this in the past, in past shows. Are people speculating, looking at the connection between the comics and the movies, or the TV series, whatever it it may apply to in this case the movie. It's dropping May 6th. They're introducing a first appearance of somebody that they're hinting may become the king of Wakanda. And are these crazy prices, because of speculation? People are speculating the movie's going to drop May 6th. It's Black Panther. Is this something that maybe they're buying and pushing the price up because people are kind of rushing, assuming that as soon as the movie drops, it's going to. Okay, so Dave says it's out of date. BP2 is so scheduled for December at best. Doctor Strange is in May, so maybe not. Who knows? So who knows what's driving the price?
I think that truly is it. They think they need someone to replace, obviously T'Challa after he passed away. Well, the actor, but right. I think based on this issue, I don't know if they're trying to say that this is his son. I can't remember because, like I said, the issue wasn't good and he played a very small role. So I can't remember if they're trying to say that that's his son. So now people are thinking, holy crap, first appearance and it's his kid. Are they going to bring this character into the movie?
Right. Is it a character they're going to flesh out in the movie? So people are speculating and trying to jump on and driving the price up. It could be. I mean, again, the way I see it, it's neither good nor bad. I mean, if it becomes part of the new process, the new age. I mean, you're going to have constant movies coming out, as we know. With I think I read somewhere there are 11 superhero movies coming out in 2022. I mean, think about it, 11. So people are making that connection. Is a portion of people in there speculating? Probably. I mean, like with anything else, when you do this type of thing, you got to get in at the right time and get out at the right time.
Yep.
And when Beanie Babies were hot, there was a company that I know I'm going way back, dialing up the Wayback Machine.
I used to collect them.
Yeah, there was a company that came out, and I was friends with one of the guys that invested in the company and got involved with it, and they were called Bambinos. So they were very similar to Beanie Baby. You call it what you will. It was Beanie Baby knockoffs. And right at what I would say to everybody looking in, it was at the height. My buddy said, yeah, he's pulling out. I said, well, why are you pulling out now? It looks like it's going to explode. He goes, I just got a bad feeling. I got to admit, man, the guy had a knack. He just had a knack for knowing, his entire career sort of was like this. He just knew when to get out. And there were no signs that this bubble was bursting. I mean, Beanie Babies were still selling like crazy. And he said, now I'm cashing out. I made enough money. And he cashed out. I kid you not, 6 months later, the whole market crashed. I mean, things were just
sucks, but.
So, I mean, it's so anytime you speculate on something like this, could they introduce the son of T'Challa in the movie in December, as Dave pointed out? The drop date is now December, maybe. And what if they don't? Then you just paid $600 for a comic that's going to be worth a heck of a lot less. But that's part of the gamble.
Even logically thinking about it, though, is this book just came out, and yes, it's so hot, and it's so hot that every single person wants it. So that's why the prices are so incredibly expensive. Give it 6 months. Like Dave just said, the movie is coming out, December at best for this, either the end of the year or probably the beginning to middle of next year. The book is obviously going to drop by then. It's going to probably tremendously drop by then. If it doesn't, then, obviously I have to eat my own words, and I'm going to apologize for that later down the line. But the book will drop at least a little bit. The $600 prices will not sustain.
Well, I'm thinking that's for a new release. It's 600 is a pretty heavy ceiling to get past. Like
that's probably. You can go.
No, go ahead. What were you
I
going
was
to say?
going to say this is probably the highest new comic book day book I've seen in a very, very long time. And that's like the
Yeah.
peak of just COVID, where every book is selling for an insane amount of money. I don't think I've ever seen a new comic book day book sell for these prices basically the same day to a week later.
And that really is the problem is you got to ask yourself where's it going to go from there? Where's the room to go from there? And even if they introduce the character in the movie in December, how much more room is there for a new comic beyond $600? I don't know, but it seems like that's already the ceiling right there. I just don't see I just don't see how it could go any further, but again, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the one making the big bucks. I just, here I am just making my own judgment calls and talk about it with everybody else. So obviously there's other people out there
It just
smarter than
seems to
me.
me, I mean, if you're looking to invest money, I would probably go the long road and buy something in golden age or silver age that's around $600 and sit on it. I mean, could that lose some of its value? It could, but it's unlikely to. And that's the thing about gold and silver age comics is that I think there is an established inherent value there that again, it's like a Warren Buffett stock as opposed to a day trader penny stock, where the price can fluctuate massively in terms of percentage in the course of a day. Whereas, Berkshire Hathaway, one share is going to cost you a gajillion dollars. I don't even know what the going price is. I could never afford one. And you got to get approved to buy it. I kind of look at your vintage comics as having that kind of Berkshire Hathaway value, and the newer comics like this Black Panther that just sold for $600 after just being released. That strikes me more as a penny stock, and wild fluctuations based on people, speculating in the short term. That's always dangerous. I mean, if you got $600 to blow on a comic, I would always go, to the vintage route, just to be on the safe side. So Dan,
I was gonna say I totally agree with you, Rex.
They decide it's not for them. Maybe. I mean, but I kind of look at it this way. People get burned in penny stocks. Day traders get burned all the time. It's and they're still there, and the stocks are still being offered. And so I think it will leave a bad taste. It will make some people especially the guy who paid $600 for that issue. It's going to make some people unhappy, but by the same token, it's if somebody's willing to do it and you got the money to blow, is it the route I would take? Probably not, but hey, more power to you. If you got that kind of money to spend it.
That's also the same thing with the same stuff that was happening when a lot of these were selling for extremely high, like a lot of books in general. It's new people who are good at investing, who are interested in investing, found out about this whole brand new hobby that they've never put a single dollar into before. And they hear a couple people say, hey, for example, the Black Panther 3, they say, hey, listen, Black Panther, he passed away in real life. They got a new movie coming out. How are they going to replace him? All of these ideas have been floating around. And now all of a sudden they release a comic that says, hey, this is allegedly his son. At least, like I said, I think that's what they were doing in the book.
Right.
They said, hey, this is his son. So you being an investor with potentially a lot of money, you hear that idea and it's like, oh, wow, that actually, he passed away in real life. He now has a son that's in the comic books that's going to be king in the future. That's perfect. They probably will put him in the movie. If I'm new to everything and I don't really get anything in the comic book realm, but I invest and I have a lot of money to invest, that might be a great investment just looking at it face value. So these eBay sales that we're seeing, these probably aren't just average people. These are probably people who might not know a lot about the hobby, and they do have a lot of money to blow. Because it's not like there's hundreds of sales and hundreds of sales for $600+.
Right.
There's a limited amount of them.
Yeah, so, I mean, I would agree with that. Yeah, you could very well be correct. I think the danger that I see with Black Panther is, man, that is one big hill to try to jump because, I thought the Black Panther movie was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. I like how they worked him into the Avengers Endgame. all of that was great. How they worked them into Civil War, everything like that. But as good as the movie was, and I think the second movie would have been very popular as well, I think the problem that they have right now is that is a huge hill to jump over, because it was a good movie, great movie, if you will, but now it's up here because Chadwick Boseman died. So now the expectation is just, after he died, it pushed it into another realm of popularity, if you will. And I think that's the danger. How without a Chadwick Boseman, how are you gonna walk away with that, not feeling some sort of disappointment? Okay,
I totally agree.
Yeah, even if the movie is really well done, you're always gonna walk away from that movie going, "Gee, I wish Chadwick Boseman was there to T'Challa." That's the other thing. Somebody who paid $600 for that comic may want to consider is that I think overall people are going to walk away from that movie disappointed. It's inevitable, and I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen any reviews or anything like that. I don't know if anybody has, but it becomes just how, it was almost like watching Matrix Resurrection. Okay?
Let's go, bro.
It was just too much. Our expectations were so high, no matter what, you were walking away from that a little bit disappointed. And I did. I still enjoyed the movie. I'm glad I watched it, but, I was critical as hell. It's like, it's 20 years, and both Neo and Trinity, the fight scenes are, maybe they could have sped that up a little bit. Maybe a little of that fake-o CG that we hated in Matrix Reloaded. They just seemed older, and a little slower. I don't know. I just after that 22 years or whatever, you just had these expectations. I think Black Panther too is in danger of walking down that road. But I don't know, what are you going to do? You're not going to not release the movie. That'd be crazy.
Now I'll tell you what, if they put the X-Men in that movie, that's going to be a game changer.
That would be interesting. Now, I haven't heard, again, that has always been that legal licensing issue between Sony and now obviously Disney. I haven't heard anything else about it, so I'm not sure if it's been resolved. I mean, there was obviously that panic moment when Sony and Marvel could not get on the same page, and there was talk about separating Spider-Man from the MCU and all of that.
I'm pretty positive they have the X-Men now. Pretty positive.
Okay, yeah, you could very well be right. I haven't really looked or heard anything of late, so I'm hoping that that's water under the bridge, so to speak. I mean, I'm optimistic. I mean, I think Sony did, did a good job with No Way Home, but we'll kind of see what happens. So Ryan says, not sure how they don't just make Shuri Black Panther like they did for a while in the comics.
That's what I assumed they would have done.
You know what? I got to admit, I don't know if that would work.
I love Shuri though. Very popular character. They love the actress. She did a great job as Shuri.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if that would work. I don't know. I don't know. So Ryan says Disney bought Fox, so they have. Okay, so yeah, all right. So everything's been rolled into one. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Now, what I would like to see is a potential kind of fight for the crown. Like maybe Shuri gets it, but there's someone else in there, or a couple other people that think that they deserve it just as much, and it turns into that type of a movie. But I think that would be cool.
Careful, but you got to be careful there, because then you don't want to be accused of just pretty much cookie cutter remaking the first one. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Damn, I totally forgot that that's what the first.
Yeah. So that's the danger. Oh, they just changed the faces and did the same storyline, which can happen. I've seen it happen. With movies. So I just think it's a tough nut to crack. I just think it's going to be a really tough nut for them to crack, because the expectation levels, and it's not their fault. It's not, Chadwick Boseman passed away, and then, left this huge gap, and it was very, at least to the public, it was very sudden. So there was this genuine feeling, and that bled into the character and everything else. So we'll see. I mean, I'll still go and see it, but I'm just thinking.
Now I do got something for you though. So
What's
Dave
that?
says, ask Rex about the CGC mislabel he sold on the show yesterday.
Well, we didn't actually sell it. Nobody actually
claimed
it. But we had a Vampirella #2 reprint from the original Vampirella series. But the CGC label, but it was actually a did I say Vampirella #2? The CGC label said Vampirella #1. So it was mislabeled. And we didn't actually catch it till we were on air. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, because I have down here Vampirella #2, but then I look at the blue label from CGC and it said Vampirella #1. I'm like, did we grab the wrong comic? But I'm like, no, that's not the cover. So so we had an error graded comic, if you will. So so that was pretty funny. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that actually. At this point, I don't even know if it's worth sending all the way back to CGC and get it relabeled. And, so at this point, we're probably just gonna sit on it. Maybe it'll sit on my desk if nobody ever claims it as a error CGC slab comic. But hey, things happen. But so that was pretty funny. It was a little weird working out of here yesterday. We had to adjust. We got to figure out something about the rack because nobody could see the rack, which was problematic. So we got to figure something out. But it's nicer. I don't have to unplug stuff and replug stuff. And so, and I told everybody on the show yesterday, and I'll tell everybody tonight on your show, I could come up with all kinds of reasons why we're in here. The primary reason, and Dave heard this last night, the fire marshal made us come in here.
Really?
Well, we were shooting in our lobby. That's our lobby area where you saw with the big Dynamite stencil in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a visit from the fire marshal right before the holidays, and he's just shaking his head, and we're looking, and he's like, "Yeah, this is a no-go, buddy." All right, so he said he'd be back, but we had to clear the egress. Okay, the way it was set up, if there was a fire, I'd be tripping over a lot of stuff. Okay, I mean the computer, the cords. I mean we had extension cords all plugging into stuff, the lights and everything. So the fire marshal said, "Yeah, I'll be back in 2 weeks, and you guys better have this cleaned up." So it's been a lot longer than 2 weeks, but we finally had enough time. My IT guy and I, we finally had enough time to get this set up. So we still got to tweak it a little bit, make sure people can see stuff, but we'll figure it out. But it is much nicer. It's our own little space, so I won't have delivery guys coming in. And were you on the show with us, or was it Robbie when the delivery guy was blocking the camera?
I think it was Robbie.
Yeah, I think it was Robbie. So the nice thing is we probably won't have that happening anymore since we have a room to ourselves. And this is the library where we keep one sample of a lot of stuff here.
Nice. I was gonna say I've been eyeing them up. It's a lot of nice looking
stuff here that never actually made it into production. Actually, believe it or not, a lot of just prototype samples that were done up, but for one reason or another, it just never managed to take off. So, so pretty excited about this. And now I have a desk. I can write things. Oh, I'm not supposed to bang on the table. Amy told me last night. It comes across on the mic.
So. I was actually going to tell you. I was going to tell you after this stream. I wouldn't hit it as many times if I was you.
Yeah.
Kind of comes in as like a boom.
Yeah, Amy came in and scolded us for that. It was John. John was doing it a lot. So a couple of things we got to get used to, a little different, but other than that, it's all good to go.
That's all good.
So looking forward to tomorrow's show. Got a lot of stuff actually. Overloaded it.
I was going to say, now's your time to shine if you want to talk about it all.
Yeah,
we're wrapping this up soon.
We got. I put some of them up there.
I don't want to cut you off. Super quick.
Yeah,
I got the remark you guys sent me. I gave it to my dad. I think yesterday or the day before. Loved it. He absolutely loved it. He's got it in his display case with his other Thor, Hulk stuff.
Awesome. Cool,
and
cool.
He was so pumped when he got it. So I just want to say thank you again for sending that over.
Oh, no, it's our pleasure.
Really did love it.
Pleasure. No. We knew your dad was a fan too, and I love that. I love that this is something you share with your dad, and now you've turned it into an ability to make a living off of it. I think it's awesome. And that's a connection that you'll always have with your dad. And so that was great. And I'm still going to do my absolute best. I mean, if we do that remote from the brewery, bring your dad. I'm going to do my utmost to convert him into an X-Men fan. No matter what it takes. And you can tell him I said that. That's my goal. That's my goal. I'm going to convert him and make him an X-Men fan.
He would definitely come. I think we'd have to plan for a different day other than Wednesday. That'd be the only thing.
We'll be able to do it. We'll figure something out. No worries there.
Hey,
FB. Hey, what's going on?
He's got a question or he or she's got a question for. Actually, I think it's just a dog asking questions. So.
Dracula, I do not have any news. I'm not sure what you're specifically asking about. But as always, you can contact me via email or through Alec as well with any questions that you have. If I can't answer it, I will definitely find somebody in our editorial department that will be able to answer any questions you might have about any Dynamite titles.
I think it's actually coming out on the 9th or the 16th. I'm actually looking it up super quick. I actually was just doing one of my videos, editing it. Not the 16th. It looks like it should be coming out the 9th
Cool.
for Draculina. It's got a bunch of different covers. Looks like 3, 6, 9, 12. Looks like 15 different covers. 16. Some really solid ones too.
So this week on the Dynamite side, we have the Red Sonja Valentine's Day special. Let's see, we got art by Jordi Perez, and there will be 4 different covers that's coming out tomorrow. And then we got Hell Sonja #2 coming out with cover by Lucio Perillo, cover by Jay Lee, cover by Joseph Michael Linsner, FOC by Ken Hazer. So that'll be exciting, but it's kind of a light week for us. Not too much coming out.
Yeah, a little bit. I was gonna say, I think so. The site I use, it doesn't even have that that special coming out. Which one did you just say? The Valentine's Day special.
It was Red Sonja Valentine's Day special 2022.
Yeah, they actually took it down. Oh wait, no, they got it. All right, I just want to double check. But I know they initially on the site I used, they also had that the Vampirella one was coming out the same week, but that one looks like it's on the 9th now. So
FC, not delayed from our end, but you may have missed it earlier in the show when Alec and I were talking about the convoy truckers protest on the Canadian side. Looks like it's delaying shipments and may delay comic shipments since the vast majority of comics for all the publishers are printed in Canada, especially with Transcon. So both Alec and I don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow. I guess Alec will find out first from his LCS if they're missing stuff and so on and so forth. So hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing gets delayed down the supply chain, but you never know these days.
I mean, I was saying in the beginning of the stream, there's a few books from Image I don't remember seeing. I put out a thing, so like a little YouTube short, so I could probably go back and look at it. But there's a few books that I know I was really looking forward to, and I don't remember seeing them. So I'm hoping that's not the case.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I guess we're all kind of getting desensitized to it. I mean, life has not really returned to normal for anybody. So I guess why should this be any different? So hopefully everything comes in, but I'm sure that when we're on the show tomorrow. So we're on the experience. Alec will be joining us as he always does on Wednesdays from 6 to 8.
Yeah.
By that point it'll be you, me, and John, and I'm sure we'll have new information by that point. We can talk about it then. And our original art show on the experience with Nick, 7 to 8 on. This is all Eastern time. Even if you're not a current buyer of original art, it's a cool show to check out.
It really is.
Yeah,
it honestly really is.
And Nick is really, I mean, not only obviously does he trade original art and buy original art, but I mean, he's been doing it for so long. He's a real expert. So sometimes he has some knowledge and history on these pieces that not many people do. So even if you're just a comic fan, you want to see where it all comes from, original artwork, one of a kind. It's a great show to catch. He always has some interesting pieces. And a lot of the stuff comes from his own collection. And believe it or not, I mean, he really, he would trade and buy. He would trade, but very rarely sell anything. So this last year has been the first time I've really seen Nick part with pieces of his collection. So and it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat, to kind of see it, and that's changing too. You got a lot of artists that are just working almost predominantly exclusively through the computer. So things are going to change in that realm as well.
I think that's why I like those episodes so much. Is obviously I can't afford a lot of the original art, and I'm not a big collector of original art. I do really like it, but it's that he has I feel like he's got a story with all of it. He's got something to say about it. It's not like, I don't know, I'm selling this book here. I don't know, what am I looking at? I got Lethal Protector issue #1 right here. It's like, oh, I've got Lethal Protector issue #1 right here. This is how I acquired it. Man, so the year was 19. And it's like, wow. It's
I
like
gotta
such
tell
a
you,
cool story.
what you say is absolutely true. I mean, I got to tell you, if you look on the Dynamic Forces website, do you see original art for sale? You do not. You know, it's for him. It truly is a hobby. He's a collector. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now he saw an opportunity. Now, you know, people have told him through the years, but you know, it's a lot of work to do something like that. He should open a museum or he should have it on display, whatever. And this kind of gives him that opportunity because, you know, to actually open up a museum is crazy, man. There's so much involved in that. So really, I think it's been nice for him to do the show because he gets to show off some of his collection, talk about it. But that's you know, he really is a collector. So there is a story, just like every other collector. You know, whether you collect original art, comics, signed comics, raw comics, slab comics. It's you want it because you love it, and there's always a story attached to it because it marks a certain point in your collecting history. So
Yeah.
so you get to see the real Nick collector, not Nick the publisher.
I
And he
do
loves
really
doing
like
it.
that.
Yeah, and he loves doing the show. But yeah, join us tomorrow. We'll have lots of great comics. We'll have a Justice League #1 first print signed by Jim Lee. Let me see. Uncanny Inhuman signed by Charles Soule. We have a Fantastic Four by Steve Epting. A lot of great stuff tomorrow night. We'll have a statue that, you know, we always have a statue because they've been so popular. But and we have a good time. Me, John, and Alec, we just talk about whatever comes to mind. A lot of times that might be spam, and I'm not talking about the email kind. I'm talking about the processed meat in the can, that kind of spam. But we always have a good time, and we love the viewers, just like I know Alec does.
Oh yeah. And on that note, we have hit the 50-minute mark. I'm really happy we were able to do a little bit longer of a one today. I love when these long ones. Is this a show on YouTube? Yes. So FC, all the links are down low in the description. It's The Experience. I think it's THE_EXP.
Yes.
They go live I know they do other shows too, but the big ones I'd say are Monday, Wednesday, and then the one on Friday as well. But like I said, there's a lot of other live shows that they do too. So definitely give them a follow, check them out, check out our stream at 6:00 EST tomorrow. And like I said, even if you don't come to really buy anything, there really is great conversation. We talk about a lot of things, and it really is fun. It's almost as if, for example, like the one book I see there, it's Absolute Carnage. So put up Absolute Carnage up for sale, but it's more of, well, now we're talking about Donny Cates. Now we're talking about the Absolute Carnage series. We're talking about our opinions, and it leads to all these other things too. And yeah, maybe the book sells, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, a lot of good things just surrounding the book, the writers, the artists, and everything that it brought to the table as far as, you know, Marvel Comics goes. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we have a great community. We have
really
a lot
do.
of regular viewers, and I mean, this is probably one of the few shows you'll see on YouTube where two people are bidding on one item, and we get to the time, and one viewer gives it up to the other. I mean, we just had that happen last night with one of our regular viewers, Ronnie. You know, they were both there. Ron was a little bit behind, and we ran out of time. And Ron's like, "Give it to," I forget who ended up claiming it. It's really a great community. So if you're a comic book fan, definitely join us tomorrow night, 6 to 8 on YouTube. So hopefully we'll see you there, FC. And we have some great conversation. We have a good time too. We laugh a little. We laugh from beginning to end. That's for sure.
It is a lot of fun. So on that note, thank you, Rex. I really do appreciate you hopping on again. I'm happy you were able to do 53 minutes today. I do like the new setup. I don't know if that, like you said, you're not sure if that's going to be permanent, but you're going to make it work for now until something, you know, does get a little bit more permanent.
We just got to tweak it a little bit. We'll figure it out.
It looks good, though. It honestly does.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And
I did it all myself.
I'm sure you did.
I'm totally lying.
All the viewers, thank you guys so much, too. Like I said, tune in tomorrow. I've got my top 10 list coming out on Thursday. Hopefully, I even get 10 books with the delays, and I don't know. Hopefully, my shop got all the stuff, but we'll see how it goes. And on that note, thank you again, everybody. Stay safe. Have a safe night. Enjoy your new comic book day tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday.